check. Come in. Hello to everybody. Welcome back to Black Flag Racing. This is Webbo. Just trying to organise the screens at the moment. We are missing a couple of the drivers who were streaming last week, unfortunately. So
C-Truck had a good race last night. Yeah, it was fun.
Enjoy it.
We were pretty close.
Choosing to stream today for different reasons. Sometimes drivers.
What's that?
Do need to prioritise their internet connection. But we do have some drivers here.
Oh, that's good. You in the GT2 during that race? The Friday night fights? Oh. I was wrong. You were taking off from me on the straights, and I was like, I thought it was just my damage. I didn't realize that it was a GT2. Gotcha. Yeah, I had 3 people spin out in front of me, and one of them I tapped into enough to give me damage the rest of the race. You probably saw me behind every time I brake, the lights would go out.
GT4 qualifying is
yeah, it's like going into every corner blind.
That you can hear me A-OK. I'm trusting that I'm being heard.
It was fun until I decided to pit. It's so stupid. I had no idea. I had no idea. It's stupid of me. Or whatever. It just sucks too. I pit from the lead. I had like a 5-second lead. It just fucking gave it up.
I'm always balancing two levels. But we are changing things around a little bit. So we're switching out back to game tags or something that sounds a little bit like that. I think we're hearing someone else's stream a lot more than me. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. It's a mix of stream. There we go. Let's get him off for now. But yeah, appreciate that. Thank you. Still adding lots of screens, lots of people's stuff, and of course going for a view of the leaderboard as well. I'm hoping that is coming through A-OK and should work out so that we can actually see the whole field in terms of the leaderboard. It's taken a little bit of jigging about there with everything, but yeah, hopefully that is coming through all right as well. So should be. I think Matrix is Matrix, right? He never actually changed his name to anything from anything. So he's there in 31st position. We are looking currently at Work Nickel in P7 in qualifying at the moment. Of the 11, of course, GT4 drivers. I'm just going to go ahead and change the relative view on the timing for him as well. Sorry I haven't been able to get everything lined up just absolutely perfectly, but hopefully we're getting a decent look at everybody. Yeah, hi to Going Grace as well. Somewhat muted start to live chat today, unfortunately. We're just closing out qualifying for the GT4s. Of course, they get the final 20 minutes of the session all to themselves. I'm sure they're very pleased about that. Always good to have the track plans to themselves. Mixer's just following someone else. Now this was Cody Mixer. I'm hoping that if I pronounce it Mixer, that's going to be A-OK. We've got a Max and we've got a Matrix, so there's a lots of M and X sounds all coming together. So hopefully that's all right by him. But there's Work Nickel just in the Porsche. I'm getting ahead of myself for a different league. No mistaking, it is definitely a Porsche out there. I hope everyone's doing well. We're in the Nurburgring Grand Prix circuit, of course, as you can see, with the track maps currently being displayed on the screen. In fact, I've just noticed that my track map isn't showing, and that is very annoying. So let's just change that out, shall we, and make sure that everything is on. There we go. I think. There we go. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so we can now see what we want to see on the screen. So, yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. Let me know your predictions for today. And just to remind you that the super chat is open. Do live shout outs for everybody, of course, as usual, here on Black Flag Racing. entering into round 6 of the 8-round championship. So we're really getting down to it now. We'll have a look at the qualifying, the championship positions momentarily as soon as qualifying is over. 40 seconds on the clock for qualifying. Bert is ahead of Mojo, ahead of Alohi, who I have not seen before. Alohi and then Tin in 4th place, funnily enough. Tin down in 4th. I haven't also seen Marnik streaming at the moment, but he's down in 12th after having to miss out on last round situations. Let me just double check that he's not in fact streaming, because he will absolutely round on me if I haven't noticed that he's streaming and don't get his stream up on the page. But no, it's certainly not appearing to be the case that he's currently streaming. So we will see. Leaderboard seems a little bit off. Yeah, I thought you might pick up on that, Nate. Yeah, they're 2 different captures of the same thing. I haven't had time to sort out the second half. I'll try and line them up, but they are different colours as well. So let me try and get things a little bit more in line with one another. They're slightly different sizes as well, so that's reasonable and should capture the whole field there. But yeah, it's going to be almost impossible for me to give you absolutely everything in one perfectly lined up point of view at this certainly this stage anyway. So yeah, just trying to get you the whole field. That's the first start point for me anyway. Get you everything, get you the whole field showing a-okay. Qualifying just finished up, of course, so that is a red flag for qualifying. Now you can see the qualifying positions on the screen at the moment. I had that wrong, so the first half is currently showing. That should be it then. So Tin ahead of Marnik, Sublime and Angel, Angel, Mojo, Ruben, Alohi, Aries, Mixer, Nordic Dad and Nate. Then your runners so far, and I have no idea why my size just completely changed. Oh, this is absolutely absolutely frustrating, and I wanted to try and get this perfectly set up for you all before we started everything. So that is really annoying, but anyway, that is qualifying. I think that's the problem, is I've gone to qualifying view on the overall screen. So I'm going to switch back to best positions, and we'll get the qualifying result then on the screen, I would have thought. Let's just have a look at that then. Here, so Tin ahead of Marnik, Sublime, Mojo, Angel, Ruben, Alohi, Mixer, Aries and Nordic making the top 10. Nate's in 11th with Citrox, Phantom, Crit, Elite Rain, Bert, Hellcat, Got King, Ghost Stroke and Runks. The 20 car GT3 field. Artie ahead of Dave, then Alec, Rice, Milkman, Hunter, Max Trax, Work Nickel, North Sea Zati, Matrix, and some guy called Mike, who didn't set a qualifying time at this point. Let's have a look at the at our. It's distracting me now, the fact that that's gone all off at the moment. The white screens are simply because we don't have any information being fed to us from the leaderboards at this stage, but we'll get there very soon. 30 seconds before the formation lap starts, so let's dive in to our standings. The GT3 on screen right now. I will just double check because I've got an easy to read version. So Marnik leads on 98 points ahead of Tin on 94. Lucas has 82, Cody 80, Harry 78, and Nate in 6th place. In the GT4s, Artie ahead on 100 points. GT4 ahead of Archie and Adam, both on 55. 54 points for Max. So close there in the podium positions for the GT4 field. Hunter on 44, Dave on 43, Jeff on 27. And in terms of the team standings, you can see that actually I've just realised that I don't have that one. Here it is. Rare Metal Racing 353 ahead of No Grip No Glory 342. Snack Pack Racing have 287. Kingsman Motorsport 253. Brittany Steers on 5th place 247, and Apex Critical on 214. So fabulous start to the season, of course, for everybody. Bear in mind that we do have this issue happening currently with our leaderboards, so I'm going to just try and I may turn those off for a minute because they're a little bit distracting, aren't they? And I know that you will want to see everything as you would imagine it to be. So let's get up onto a good view of for the start here at Nurburgring Grand Prix circuit. I've been so busy getting these screens sorted out for you that I've forgotten to get my track map out, which is not cool. Okay, here we go. Juggling doesn't begin to describe the experience right now. And of course my track map happens to be the wrong orientation for north-south as well, so even better. That's just tremendous. Alright, okay, well, I'm pretty sure that you'll know exactly what you're looking at when it comes to our systems. So let's just need to wait for the leaderboards to populate for me as we come out and on through the Michael Schumacher S and heading towards Xiaomi Curve, turn 10. Looks like Matrix is parked up on the side of the track. I'm not quite sure what is happening for him. That's a strange situation. Hi to Ely Rain as well. So good to have him ready to go. As I say, I'll get the leaderboards back up as soon as I possibly can. But yeah, for some reason, Mixer has decided to end up in the pits, unfortunately. So quite what's going on with him is beyond me at this stage. I would like to just check in because I was expecting to have a different driver who was Jason. Let's just double check, is Jason currently streaming, because he made sure to give me his details, even though I already had it, but no. Jason not streaming right now, at least. So thanks, Pullman. Appreciate it. Here we go then. We're heading into the final turn. It's time to go racing here at Black Flag Racing. I got Tin and Marnik, the lead two drivers who are going to take us through to the green flag. And you can keep an eye on the mid and back of the field at the moment as we go centre stage then for this 6th round of the championship. It's drop the clutch and go, go, go. Looks like a good start there from the McLaren on row 3 as they tumble and head down towards this all-important turn 1. This is going to be absolute chaos if I can hazard a guess. Sometimes 4 wide into the hairpin there. Looks like everybody making their way through quite comfortably, actually. Very cautious. Oh, we have had a bit of a crash, and it does look like it's down in the GT4 field. One of the GT4s there, it might even be Rice getting a little bit of a nudge going on through the corner. But as we run down through everybody, it's Tin still ahead then of Marnik. Mojo is in 3rd place and Sublime in 4th, heading into the left-hander before the first of the similarly profiled right-handers in towards that. This is now the Paget Racing curve, and then we'll go down to Goodyear, formerly known as Dunlop, but they've had a good rebranding down into the official turn 8. That looks like Mojo looking very strong in the Porsche through that long right-hander with the nice balance of the Porsche. The Lexus, though, stretching its legs up the hill towards the Michael Schumacher S. And right now, things looking like they're going pretty smoothly then for the group. and it is Tin ahead of Marnik. Tin with a good gap already on Marnik, with Mojo looking much more racy behind Marnik at this stage. Marnik just kicking up some dust into the windshield of his rival directly behind. Sublime also just trying to make sure that he stays in a good place as they head into the Vidal chicane. Then they've got the McLaren, the BMW, sorry, of Ruben, looking very, very hot in towards that Vidal chicane, and then we go back through, cycling through. It is Sublime in 4th, Ruben in 5th, Angel in 5th position, and hopefully now I can get you those leaderboards back on. It looks like we might have ourselves some a decent showing. Anyway, it's most of the field, if not all of the field for you, and hopefully then we can notice things that are happening. And that looks like it's Ruben in the BMW having a little spill out there, unfortunately, and he has just dropped back down to now 7th position, just behind newcomer Alohi, and gets a little tap in the rear for his trouble. But a fantastic save there from Alohi. That was really difficult, but he did a great job out just to hold firm and secure that one. So really nice start from him, and we'll get a little bit closer up. We can see a little bit in more detail what's happening. Something going very wrong for Mixer out there, who's back into the pit lane. He was in the pits for the start of this race, and he's back in again already. Looks like potentially damage. I can't quite see on his screen. You'll have to let me know if you're watching on a giant screen exactly what's going on with him. But it's Ruben then trying to hold on at this stage ahead of now Nate, who's made it up from 11th position. That's No Grip No Glory's Nate, number 189 in the P8. So he's got by Aries. Nordic Dad is there in 10th as well. But a big flash of the lights from the BMW of Aries directly behind Nate. Aries a bit of an aggressive driver at this stage of proceedings as they filter on through the next corner. And it looks like Angel in that 5th place, Alohi in 6th after a little bit of a touch. Mixer changing tyres, said Going Grays. I'll trust you on that one, Grays, because it's not something I can see on my level of detail on the screen, but absolutely. So that's a big apex cut then from Aries, who's clearly not quite got the BMW directly underneath him or set up heavy with this fuel at this stage. As we continue to run then, it's Aries ahead of Nordic Dad, C-Trucks, and Elite Rain has picked up a drive-through penalty down at the lower right-hand side. I'm not sure what that is, but potentially it could be a start infringement, but it may also be track limits already for Elite Rain. So he has certainly not escaped the steward's notice at this point, and you've got a drive-through penalty for P12 Elite Rain. Gotking is in 13th place, and then you've got Crit and Phantom Sam. As we run through, we've got Runks in 16th. Runks moving up from the 20th position. He qualified up to 16th place. It's certainly been a difficult run then for Ghost Stroke, for Bert, and for Hellcat. Hellcat used to drive a GT4 last season, but no more. So that's the situation then. GTX Dave leads the GT4 field ahead of Alec, with Artie down in 22nd position. So GTX Dave putting in a fantastic start then. Out there in the Chevy ahead of the whole Mercedes field. Mixer just struggling off track again, center bottom of your screen as well. Mixer spawned in on wet, says Kyle. Thank you. That makes a whole lot of sense then. A big problem for him, because I guess he noticed what had happened and tried to pit in the formation lap, and it didn't work. Potentially we've got Alec ahead of Artie, North Sea and Rice, and here is a move coming. And there is a move going. So that was very, very tight between the two Mercedes, North Sea and Matrix here. You can see Matrix view of it as he puts a little bit of a squeeze into the braking zone, into the next corner. And that's Matrix in the green, North Sea in the blue. And behind them, you've also then got Hunter, Matrix's teammate, who's coming under threat from Milkman. Another Mercedes on Mercedes battle here in the one of the true homes of German auto racing. Tremendous to see everybody working the wheel just as furiously as ever. That's Milkman ahead of Work Nickel in 28th place, 9th overall, and a really competitive GT4 field here at the lower end of the speed trap, of course. But you've got Max Trax in 29th, Zati in 30th, and Mike in 31st place as they filter through. Let's go back, check in on our leaders. Tin is leading by 2.8 seconds right now. I just need to double check I've got this correct. I have got this correct. Great. Okay, the leaderboard situation, I have to manually interact with it to make sure it's showing the right thing, because it's the same leaderboard for best lap and race position. So that is Tin leading the way ahead of Marnik, now in second place as he was, but with a much more comfortable gap over Mojo in third place. So very little drama happening at the very front of the GT3 field so far. You've got Sublime in fourth, and that was not Sublime catching a wheel into the dirt. Get out of the way of everybody else on their way through this run, and he's doing a fantastic job. So sporting of Sublime, waiting for his opportunity. He's really struggling to see his way through here, and as he turns 90 degrees to the traffic, he needs to try and get out here, but it was a slightly dodgy recovery, but the yellow flags would have been flying for him. Sublime down to 17th position. What an absolute shocker for him. That is hugely disappointing. Unfortunately, one wheel on the gravel and you're losing multiple positions. It may be that yeah, there you can see right now the leaderboard just reacting. There is a little delay on the leaderboard, unfortunately, from the live coverage, but generally speaking, it's probably about right to the nearest 30 seconds anyway. That was a defensive shape potentially there from a Ghost Stroke on his way into this Vidal chicane and into the final corner. Always scares me the way the pit wall comes greeting you and inviting you to hit with a huge amount of danger as they run through. Just going to resize things slightly there for Elite Rain, just try and get everything lined up. There's no sort of snap to grid or anything for me. It's all kind of very manual. As a nice move going in behind them there. That's Hellcat, but behind them it's Angel versus Sublime, and Sublime, I think, getting underneath and heading down into the corner against here Angel, who held the inside line, but he have a much narrower exit, and that was Sublime still on the recovery, making his way back up there. Rick saying, sad I missed this race, but good luck everybody. Team Snack Pack for the win. You didn't have to tell Otye straight away that you're not on, Rick. So now we're going to lose Otye in the audience. I'm sure you'll stick around. Cheering on the whole of Snack Pack Racing, of course. Thanks so much, Grace, there for the feedback. Appreciate it as always. But yeah, great info from everybody. Thank you for letting us know what's happening with the teams. Always really appreciate pit lane reporting happening live, and that is a bit of a melee situation there. Looks like Bert just having trouble getting off one corner, and such is the closeness of this part of the field. Bert losing 3 positions from just one slightly loose moment on the track. So this is going to be the way that this runs for some time, I would have thought, between these great racers. Tin leading Marnik and Mojo, with Alohi and Ruben in the GT3 field. You've got GTX Dave leading the GT4s ahead of Alec and Artie, with Rice and North Sea making out that top 5. Matrix there in 6th position, bottom left of your screen, Matrix. He's just trying to get himself on the podium in the GT4 field. But yeah, unchanged at the front. Still Tin ahead of Marnik and then Mojo. So we are into, that's a nice little move there on the outside from, is that Angel in the McLaren? It was. Beautiful maneuver from Angel, just taking advantage of that position. And that's the 14 Sublime, trying to do exactly what the McLaren has just done, try and get the next position and recover here, because that huge loss of positions will be playing on his mind no end. All drivers must make one mandatory pit stop and must put at least 1 litre of fuel in the car in the pit stop window, which will open just under 9 minutes time if everything runs exactly as we're expecting it to. But yeah, we're up at Nurburgring Grand Prix circuit. I don't want to be accused of favouritism here by focusing on just one battle. We've got Elite Rain, who you can see lower right of your screen in the Mustang, P19 at this stage. It doesn't feature on the leaderboard at the moment, unfortunately. But then you've got GTX Dave there leading the GT4 field, but not by much. That is 0.2 seconds between the two. So we should perhaps try and get a good view of this. Try and get you a chase view, maybe. A great helmet cam view there of what's happening. Is it number 1? Press. No. I've lost my chase cam button, unfortunately. But it's nice to get an onboard directly of what's happening. This is Alec just trying to find a weakness in the GTX Dave game. Mercedes versus Chevrolet. As we continue then out of what was the bit curver is now the Bilstein corner. It was also known as the Varstein corner as well. We go through Falcon, turn right, turn 12, and into what has always been pretty much the Vidal chicane. A brief moment where it was the NGK. It's back to being the Vidal. Into then the Hyundai, or formerly known as Coca-Cola corner. Basically every corner, with the exception of one chicane here at the Nurburgring, is subject to a for sale sign, essentially. There's a yellow flag on the track right now. Let me see if I can find what's happened. Well, there's a scratched up Mustang there. And then diving down the outside goes Alec on Dave, and doesn't quite make the move stick. But there were yellow flags flying there. There appears to be a yellow flag for Matrix. I think it's just pit stops happening, unscheduled pit stops at this time. Tin leading Marnik, Mojo, and Alohi, with Ruben in 5th in the GT3 field. Currently, we've got GTX Dave on screen, just in front of the car here with Alec in 2nd place, followed by Artie and Rice then. As we Matrix wasn't the yellow, says Kyle. Okay, but he did have a yellow flag on. No, I think it's just those ridiculous pit lane yellow flags that we keep getting here. Just continue then through the GT4 field now that things are opening out a little bit. North Sea is in 22nd overall, 5th in class ahead of Matrix, 6th, and then Milkman just ahead of Hunter, the two Kingsman Motorsport drivers here, right in the thick of things with Max Trax in 26th. It's very much a Mercedes-dominated grid in the GT4. Seems to be the meta car at this stage, but the Chevrolet is actually leading the pack at this point as well. So that's a big deal for the form book. Max Trax in 26th, Zati in 27th. Just check this out as we see the king of the Huns, Hunter, here in 25th and the number 22. Needs to gain a few positions there till things work out properly. The Merc GT4 will need an OP adjustment next season, says Kyle. Interesting. Looks like they're getting a really nice slip angle, which you don't always see with the GT4s. They're a lot more planted really than the GT3s. They're super loose. That's that's Mixer going for a move down the bottom of your screen. There was a car on the left, and he's sailed on by, so that's great for him. Position gain then for Mixer, and that is him in that 30th place overall. I think relatively new to the GT4 handling. Behind them we've got Zati, as I mentioned, in 27th, and Work Nickel, who is making his way. And then you've got Tin on track, making his way past the tail end of the GT4s here already, and that is very, very early. There is Tin. He looks typically pretty well set up. Now headlights are on one of the cars there. Let's just get a frontline view. It is headlights on board the BMW. I'm just looking at the weather. We're not expecting any weather, so it looks like we are heading in towards nighttime sunset conditions. Sometimes that's difficult to tell. Now he's putting himself in a really difficult position there, Tin, on the outside of Zati, who was taking his racing line. Thankfully he survived that one, but he might decide to correct that approach into the lapping position, and this is going to be a big challenge for him now with this huge gaggle of cars all together. Yeah, the lights are being flashed already, so I don't think that's an impatience. That's just to make sure he is being seen. This is Rare Metal Racing coming up on a few. Oh, that's who was that? Was that Matrix off? I think that might have been, well, it was certainly a green one. It was Matrix off. You just see the sort of slightly delayed crash in the bottom left of your screen as well. Matrix spins, and Matrix will drop down the order and suffer damage. 3 minutes till the pit stop. And look, he's right hand down as well on his steering wheel. That's a huge moment then for him, unfortunately, for Matrix. Big crash, and in fact he's really struggling to get back on the track even. Insane situation for Matrix. Let's try and find him, shall we? As the drivers are piling on by Matrix, unfortunately. Where is he on the track? There he is. I just see him now. And yeah, that Mercedes is looking very worse for wear. Mixer just going down, diving down the outside again as well. So that's Mixer, who had his difficulties at the start of the race, but he is finding his way through the field now. You can see bottom of the screen, the middle of the screen. I'm pretty sure by the look of things, if you look at Matrix's right hand down, that is going to be an almost undrivable car at this stage. So he'll be definitely thinking hard about whether to make an early pit stop or stay out for a torturous 2.5 minutes before that pit stop window reopens for him. This is a great battle going on at the moment as well. Nordic Dad in 8th place, Aries in 7th, just in front, and then you've got the 189 of Nate in the McLaren, who has stormed forward from 11th place on the start. He's fighting hard. That's Aries. I think Aries is just going to hang on here in the BMW. Nate and Aries go side by side in towards turn 3, which is in the Mercedes-Benz AMG Arena section of the track. And he's hanging on here, and that Lexus is looking very, very threatening behind Aries. A flash of the lights from Aries there with the battle with Nate, but I didn't see anything Nate did wrong. We shall see. Sometimes though, drivers just pressing a button accidentally. Matrix has just crawled into the pit lane, and Nate has made a mistake on the exit of the corner as he tries to at least stay on the track here, but he's heading towards a right-hander. He's going to miss out here, and he's going to try the switchback, but unfortunately that opens the door to the Lexus, who screams through, and that is absolutely heartbreaking. Nate is being threatened with 3 place drops. He's going to try and hang on through the Schumacher S. This in the GT3 is usually a lift situation through the corner. I managed to stay ahead of the Porsche, who dives down the inside, and Nate just manages to squish the car into a position where he can hold on. Milkman and Matrix says Kyle, was that was the problem, the crash, was it, between the two of them? Understood. So 40 seconds to go. Absolutely heartbreaking for Matrix, who will do what he needs to do in the pits, but and remain the damage. But the pit window is officially closed at the moment. Mixer making his way through another GT4 car after his disastrous start. Elite Rain still bottom right of your screen, looking pretty serene out there in that 12th-ish position. Where do we see Elite Rain? Well, I see him in 17th. So yeah, 17th. I'm misreading his onboard situation. 2 Porsches are going to go side by side down into the hairpin. Are they? No, a late dive bomb there from the 242, trying to avoid problematic contact between them. As Shannon says, "Let's go, Keith." You're going to have to give me Keith's new name here. Guess who's back? Says Shannon. Are you fashionably late as well, Shannon? Is that the situation? Do you know what? I need to learn everybody's new names now. Keith the 55. So there he is, Nordic Dad in P7 right now. We'll go and find him soon. You need to get him streaming on Twitch, Shannon, so that I can get his POV on the screen as well. One of the 3 on the bottom of our screens at the moment. That would be pretty cool to get Keith front and center. So yeah, let's continue to focus on what's happening here on screen, as well as the drivers have been trying to make their way past at least one of the GT4s and C-Trucks behind Nate. Nate is definitely playing a bit of a cork in the bottle factor in this current run, as we'll use the helicopter camera as they're coming through the mid pack of the GT4 field right now. There is Veronica as well. So yeah, get him set up on Twitch so that we can have him. One of our most popular drivers, Nate, has to dodge to one side. So does the Porsche behind. He's heading, I thought, for a wall, but it's actually a runoff. Thankfully, that did though allow Seatrox to make his way by, and this is just that situation. They're navigating past the milkman, who dives to the pit lane across the pit road entry. And do you know what? I thought someone just had a problem there going in, but there is like a weird artifact on the screen as they head into the pit lane here in the corner of your screen. So that was perhaps what I was seeing a moment ago. Back to Nate versus Crit. Crit going down the inside on Nate, so that's another position loss for Nate, back down to almost where he started the race in P11, as he made a fantastic start, but unfortunately it's just not happening for Nate right now. But he's heading down past Max Trax there, and so behind him is Got King Jason, as you may have known him from the earlier part of the season, as Seatrox now in 8th, with Crit in 9th on your screen as things stand, and with No Grips Nate at the 189 in P10 and Got King in 11th position. So the McLaren definitely having a worse time of it right now. Leading the field though still is Tin and Marnik, ahead of Mojo and Alohi. Ruben in 5th, Aries in 6th, and Nordic Dad in 7th, just ahead of this group. Let's just see where he is. There he is in the Lexus with the Swiss flag on the bonnet or hood. Another maneuver happening back here. Is that Nate getting a place back there, or just defending? It's Nate continuing to defend super hard then on the way through the Schumacher S. McLaren just doesn't seem to be great at this phase of proceedings. 36 and 3/4 minutes left to go as they run through here. We'll see if anybody fancies a pit stop on this particular lap. We were going to have a look at Nordic Dad here into the Vidal chicane, final chicane on the track. Just one turn left, the Coca-Cola or Hyundai corner now, and that is North Sea heading into the pits from 23rd overall position. He is currently what I believe to be 6th in the GT4 field. So we should probably check out what's happening with that GT4 field in a moment, but we've certainly been enjoying a lot of drama with this group at this stage. We'll see where Crit is 9th, Nate is in 10th. Looks like we've got Hunter, Max Trax there. That's Phantom in the BMW for Snack Pack Racing, the number 80. That's Sam. Behind him, Sublime, who we saw off track and then waiting for the train of cars to come by. Max Trax in 24th, 7th overall. Zati 25th, 8th overall. Nice tight battle there for the GT4 group. Looks like Matrix is well, there's someone just off the track there for Matrix that he's navigating. I don't know if that is Mike or somebody else. Looks like it was probably Work Nickel who had a little spinella. They're the 117. That Porsche's not going to collect nicely on those dirty tyres with the upset aerodynamics as well. Runks is in 16th. Where is he? He's in the pit lane. That's where Runks is. So Runks is taking his pit lane comparatively early compared to everybody else anyway. And I think, was that Tin flying by the pit lane? Tin still leading this race then. He's now put a lap on Runks, but Tin has not pitted. Runks obviously has or is pitting. And Marnik makes his way by as well. At 155.1 for Marnik that last lap for the 666, as we continue to look for those GT4 cars. Runks exits the pits in P16, but he's in a great position actually for later in the race, making his way up the field at the start of this race, just like Nate managed. Mixer here in P18, you can see his view of things, bottom of the screen. Well, you might see slightly less hood when he has been into the pits, but at the moment he's stayed out. There's Mojo in the 416. Mojo, formerly known as Lucas, formerly known as Mojo, with Alec in 19th overall. We've got GTX Dave then. Here he is. I think that's Alec has taken the lead of the GT4 field. My apologies there for not being able to find that one. So he is number 187, if if I'm not wrong. I'm just trying to find his driver number on my list, and I can't find it. So either he's changed his name and his driver number, or he's new to us. Alex just won the prospect race earlier. Spoiler, sorry guys, but Kyle just saying Alex won the prospect, so that's why he is able to take it to GTX Dave with such aplomb. Alohi in 4th, you can see just cycling through there with Ruben right behind him, 0.2 of a second as they attack the Vidal chicane. I think that is, no, I'm wrong. That is the Xiaomi curve, turn 10. He's Hellgrind. It says that's GTX Dave is Hellgrind. Understood. Okay. Wow. I would like while I was happy to make the change to names, just prefer we stay with it for just one season because I'm really playing catch up now, and all my commentator aids here with this 36 car entry field are now rendered somewhat useless. I have to track back with with driver numbers, so I'm struggling again. My apologies, folks. I don't know everybody intimately with all their various avatar names that they've got on various platforms. So thanks very much for all the help that everybody gives live here. This is Alohi versus Ruben. Ruben looking good, and his name hasn't changed too dramatically, has it, here for the Kingsman Motorsport BMW entry car number 3. And he's chasing down Alohi. This is looking really cool, actually. Alec is there in the lead of our GT4 field. Behind him on track right now is Hellcat in the somewhat similar colours. That's Hellcat. Trying to find his way by at this stage, but the GT3 Porsche not quite equal in the middle of the tricky corners there to the GT4 Mercedes. Then look at this. Oh, okay, so that was Aries getting into Artie, and I think that might yield an incident report, don't you? Because I'm not quite sure on that one, but Aries just trying to find his way by. Did have in my prospect season last season 2, I did have several times I had run-ins with Aries, so I'll try to not prejudge any situations. This is GTX Dave Hellgrind, P30 car 31, and he is currently second in the GT4 field, and he's ahead of Artie. Which you may know as Beth Barron as well. I think I've got that right. He's 3rd in the class. As they run through, and Artie dives into the pit lane, and he will take on his next route, almost exactly cutting the race in half. Might be able to get an undercut running here. And Sublime then out in P9. Now he has held off. Of course, he had to wait off track for some time. Smart move, says Kyle. No sense fighting all that traffic. Yeah, definitely. And this is Sublime then gaining positions at this stage through the action of not pitting. There is Hans, our race control announcer, just announcing that we are halfway into the race. And it is Sublime there in P8. We've got Rice currently running, let me get that right, in 22nd place overall. That's 4th in the GT4 field. Bit of a gap then to Dave in front. Hellgrind. Please don't get this right. But yes, he's currently 4th in his class. P9 is Sam, Phantom Sam, the ghost of Sam here in the 80 car for Snack Pack Racing. And a few seconds back, six seconds or so, is Bert in the McLaren Snack Pack car. We've got Elite Rain in 11th, bottom right of your screen, the whole race long. Elite Rain, he has got a pit stop still to make as well. P10 and P11 for Sam, and Bert is pleasing Rick. That's excellent. I'm glad you could join us for the coverage as well, Rick. Major Get Wrecked. I should give you a proper title, Major. There is Alohi then. He's made his pit stop, gone all the way down to 12th place. Alohi was running 4th in the vicinity of Ruben earlier on. So big difference for them at this stage. I'm just going to check in on progress then, what else is happening through the rest of the field. We've got Artie in 22nd place. So he runs through then the 64 car, and Hunter in 23rd overall. That's 4th and 5th places in the GT4 field. They've suddenly really opened up now, with some drivers pitting, some not pitting. So I'm watching the live stream. Every moment my wife is in the fitting booth trying on clothes. We've all been there, bro. We've all been there. Probably standing in the lingerie section as well, which is, I always find really bizarre. But I've never quite understood why they don't put PlayStations in the fitting area of female clothing shops. But anyway, very attractive looking Porsche is the 164 with the chrome metallic base. Hellcat there coming out of the pits in 28th place. Try and find you some action happening here at the moment. There is Zati, and he's got King and 10. King almost going a lap down here. There he is. You will also know him as Jason. 201. I paused the live. Dad was in 7th. What happened? I imagine it's just a pit stop at this stage. We'll go have a look at Nordic Dad. He has cleared his pit stop. Don't panic, Shannon. I think we're okay. I think all is well. There was Tin going by King then. That's a lap going on to P13 from P1 in the field. Nordic Dad here in P14. He's pitted. Cars in front of him haven't yet. He's still with King. So we will just check out once everybody's pit stops have cleared. And we can't see that on the leaderboard in a convenient manner, which is kind of frustrating. We do want to see that. So yeah, we will see in a few minutes. Yeah, it's good to see the grandkids as well. So hello to you all, the whole Keith Nordic family who are watching on. Great to have you all. So if you've got other questions, if anyone's got other questions, please don't hesitate. Happy to try and help. And the live chat will also, I'm sure, feature in the answers. We're a friendly bunch, so yeah, we try to make sure that everyone understands what's happening. Where is Sublime? He's currently P6 at the moment, Kyle. Let's have a look if we can't find him on the track. But I think he was waiting for his pit stop for some time, so I think he will filter back down through the order. This is Elite Rain. And you can see him bottom right of your screen trying to get by the Milkman, but the power of that Mustang is going to be insane in comparison to a GT4 engine. As we just isn't working, the keyboard is failing. Oh, please tell me my batteries haven't run out live on air. I think they have. Let's try and encourage a little bit of life back in the batteries. It's weird, you know. I'm sure I only just changed these. Come on, keyboard. Everybody hope and pray that my controls come back, because I really don't want to do the rest of this race without the keys. There we go. Fantastic. Okay. These are probably holding shift all the time and using all the juice. Sublime is 5th now. There you have it. The boss tells us so it must be true as we run through. That is North Sea, just filing by 356. Just trying to guys, my batteries are dead, and I don't know that I've got anything else to hand that I can strip of batteries for you. Oh man, it's so annoying. And it's not a plug-in situation. Let's see what we can do. You'll have to send me some tips to buy some batteries, I think. It's the only way. Okay, we might have got a little bit of life. Right, okay, so there is Nate in P3. Hasn't pitted yet. Has 3 minutes 40 to make that pit stop. But suddenly this McLaren looking a little bit more alive than it did earlier on. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm going to have to... Do I really want to go back to the terrible situation of having this? Thank you. Thanks very much. Let me try and just get some life. Oh, hello. My spare keyboard might work. This is going to be really difficult because it's a tiny little keyboard. Anyway, okay. Right. I'm going to have to keep looking at this one. This is the tiniest keyboard in the world. There is Ghost Stroke on track. We did just see Sublime go by. So all questions about Sublime, obviously a very popular guy right now. Here he is in the Lamborghini. P4 hasn't pitted. He's taking the same route through the race as Nate is, which is a very, very long run. So might decide to go to the pit lane now. No, he's going to stay out. Crazy stuff. Absolutely crazy. But he did have that off-track moment earlier on. This could be a sign of a driver who's not going to take tyres. So he's got the power down and running this one really nicely. Despite that earlier snafu, earlier problem for him, really looking very good indeed. He's right with Tin as well. So the Rare Metal Racing drivers, we've got Tin, who was leading the race, is now stuck in second overall. I imagine that's because Mojo hasn't pitted yet. I'm just waiting for the leaderboard to catch up really with what's happening on track. Yes, Mojo was the one who's yet to pit, so he's stayed out. So it's going to be Tin on the chase back here from Mojo. Can't quite see how far away Mojo currently is, but I would imagine it's within a pit stop naturally. I don't think Tin's been off track, but I can't rule it out. And there is Sublime in third. So Tin having pitted, Sublime having not pitted. A lot of these drivers will then drop positions, but of course the more drivers go through this traffic situation, it's quite a tight track, it's quite chaotic. You can even see there a braking marker board on the mixer screen bottom right for a moment. So there's a lot of chaos at the Nurburgring. It has rained here in the past for us, but I think at the moment we're okay. For rain through to the end of the race. As far as our on-screen forecast is concerned anyway, looks like we're just going to be overcast. It's also brightened up a little bit. It was getting really dark earlier on. Into the pit lane then comes Sublime. So he will take on his mandatory 1 litre of fuel at least. We've got Mixer in the mix, and we've got Marnik then in 4th place. He's going to pick up at least one position now. I would imagine Mojo is in the pits at this point with 22 seconds to go. Let's just have a look. I'm not seeing him actually in the pit lane. He's currently second. There he is though in P2. So where is Mojo on track? I think Mojo is fairly fresh out of the pits. He's filtered back into 2nd place and he's managed to get the undercut on Marnik. What does the undercut mean? Sorry, the overcut. What does the overcut mean? It means pitting later than the driver you are fighting with and being able to maximize your pace relative to that driver who pits before you, and then they come out potentially on cold tyres, certainly running a heavier car than they were before, and then they can go. I'm afraid, Rick, I don't have Bert or Sam's on boards. I have to actually manually go on the main screen for those guys. So using clear air versus tyres to pass someone, says Carl. That's a very neat, tidy way of saying it, absolutely. But it means that you pit afterwards as well. Whereas the undercut is to get out of traffic. You pit first, get those fresh tyres on. You hope that when you come out of the pits, you get into some clear air. We're not quite advanced enough in ACC to be able to show your projected pit out point. Even for your race engineers, that is a bit of a head scratcher. For where you pit out. Marnik stretching the racetrack as usual. He's got Mixer there in P17 making his way by Max Tracks. Mixer is doing his best to shave all the black paint off his Mustang. there. Max Track's much cleaner looking car out there. And then you've got Ruben in 4th place. These 4 drivers in the GT3 field, they really are still able to put in a good fight to the end of this race. This is going to be really interesting, I think. That's Elite Rain, bottom right of your screen, navigating that super slow hairpin at the start of the track as well. The start of this current lap for him. Then we've got Ghost Stroke in 18th place here, trying to get through Zati and Milkman in the GT4 field. So he's got a much more muscular engine, better aerodynamics. Ultimately, he's just faster everywhere on the track, but sometimes the track just isn't big enough to make your way through. And anyway, he manages to get by. There is Ghost Stroke in 18th position. Ghost Stroke, one of my channel members, and if you do wish to support my efforts here as a creator, you can join the channel. I'm trying to make more and more members-only videos as well. So there are some exclusive videos to members, as well as getting cool little icons by your name when you feature in live chat and things like that. So yeah, find a good positive way of supporting today's broadcast if you can. There's plenty of positive buttons under today's video as always. Here we are, Milkman in 26th, North Sea in 27th, and that's Alohi making his way by as well. It's a tricky position to put yourself in, but that is just the sheer difference in pace between the 2 cars. And it looks like everybody that I've seen so far has made their way through the pit stop as required. I think you've got Mixer closing in on Work Nickel, bottom centre of your screen. So yeah, Rick, both Sam and Bert and yourself, of course, could do with adding your Twitch streams when you're next up and running. Be able to cycle through people, but I've actually only got 3 drivers that I've got Twitch handles for, and who chose to stream today in time anyway, for me to organise. So we can have a choice in future. We just need to make sure everybody lets me know what's going on. Nate then, remember he started 11th, was up to about 6th position earlier on. He's dropped back again and was being passed, but this strategy seems to be working for him. Back to 7th place, his name, the 189. I don't necessarily believe that he's a bronze driver, but that's the tag he's wearing on the back of the car. Nate in P7 at this stage, and looking hot out there in the 189 for his No Grip, No Glory team. Aries in 8th place, has missed out a little bit relative to Nate. So Nate has found a better route through the traffic. The one driver who hasn't pitted there is of course my car. There it is. So yeah, we don't have a driver falling foul of the rules. Hellcat 28th. Then we've got our audience favourite, who is the Nordic Dad, Keith. Hopefully not Keith from The Office, but Keith in the 55, Carlos Sainz's number, and he's in 9th place right now, so very much the top half of his GT4 field. Hi to Chef Gonwa, good to have you here. And yeah, so there is Nordic Dad, with everybody pitted around him. He's currently in 9th place. His best lap so far, 156.3, and quite typical for Nordic Dad. He is very, very consistent with his lap times. His best is only a 56.6, so he is able to drive these endurance style races with a lot more focus on consistency, I think, than a lot of other drivers. Something I personally kind of took a bit of pride in last season as well, and that will serve him very well if he decides to take part in the endurance series that is coming up directly after this Premier Series. We'll try and pair drivers together with different geographies for time zone coverage, and also for making friends and mixing abilities and raising the level of the league overall. Here come the Porsches of Crit and Got King. This is a great situation then to watch as they come through. I'm going to, in fact, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and look. Okay, we're not going to do that. Don't do that. No, no, no. Right, because I'm on my mini keyboard, nothing is quite what I thought it would be. So is that the button? Oh, I can't do things I want to do, sadly. That, for some reason, just changed. It's very odd. Okay. We need to find our way to get back to... that one? Nope. I don't know why that one keeps happening. That's like the escape button. But anyway, it's a good way of looking at this current battle from the perspective of the Lamborghini of Sublime. Thought it did to everyone, says Shannon. And there we go. You've got King and Crit. That's Crit just defending. Oh, and off. Off we go. And wow, Sublime just holding on. Very, very close then for him. Man alive, I don't know what it is that's happening with these keys. I can't get back to the view I want. Let's see if I can coax a little bit of life out of my main keyboard here, just long enough to get back to the angle that I want. There we go. That'll do. Don't touch a working system. is the rule, and going very wide is Sublime and off. And what is going to occur here? Wow! Sliding across the inside. That looks like King was featuring in both of those incidents. Pretty crazy. That is the 23rd lap. With the number 11. So yeah, getting very tight there, and unfortunately that's Sublime losing out slightly to King. King seems to have managed to ride through both of those contacts completely smoothly, and escaped all kinds of damage and drama. And he sent two of the cars packing, unfortunately for them. Got to pull the handbrake, says Purple. It was a little bit close for comfort. Ghost Stroker's got a cracked right hand window there, so he's clearly been into something solid in P18. We've only got 11 minutes to go, guys. That's insane how quickly this race has spun by. Sublime then back on the recovery once again. What can he do to get a top 10 finish today? This has been a very difficult race for Sublime, and I think he'll be furiously hoping at least that the replay saves for him. He can submit some incident reports, because yeah, not quite what he was looking for out of today. This is Elite Rain, bottom right of your screen, and he's going for a move on the McLaren down the inside line. Any DNFs being asked? Angel has DNF'd, I want to say. Must have, given that he drives a GT3 car and he's 18 laps down. And we've got Mike, who started with us near the bottom of the grid and has just done one fewer laps than Angel, so he's 17 laps down. But the rest of the drivers are all with us, I think. I think we're down just 2. So I think the way I see things is that we have 30 drivers in the field with 10 minutes to run. Just want to check out who that was. So there's Elite Rain, I think getting past Artie as Tin here on the outside of the BFW goes around the long and high side around this tricky corner, and just relying on the grip on the outside. Hopefully for his sake, he's got decent tyres underneath him. This is where drivers are going to start really feeling the tyres if they didn't take tyres in the pit stop. So this is very hairy for the leader right at the end of the race. Runks and Elite Rain are fighting tooth and nail over this position. That's 14th place, and Tin has just made his way by. Mojo is 9.1 seconds further back from this group, so probably not going to feature in the battle for the win here. And a DNS, says Kyle. So there you go, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so Tin ahead of Mojo and Marnik. Oh, and that's Runks way off the track again. And Runks has spun and out into the grass through the Vidal chicane. Don't cross into traffic, Runks, please. As he goes into the pit lane, I think, well, back across again. had a feeling someone was just approaching and just catching. No, he's got a gap there. Matrix is the next car behind, so there's a little bit of a gap there. Runk's at least giving Mojo cause for concern there. Mojo could still, what is it, 10 seconds to P1. Marnik 6 seconds further back. Now Marnik having a rare race where things are not necessarily quite going into dominance for him. He had an outstanding Kyalami round 1 week ago where he started at the back and finished on the podium. But this race, he's pretty much just been in the podium positions the whole time through, but he hasn't been fighting for the lead. Marnik in P3 then in the 666. This track clearly not playing to either his or his car's strengths. There's not a lot of time on the Nurburgring Grand Prix circuit to really stretch the legs of the very powerful, very fast in the straight line Lexus. It is also given a small weight penalty here with us, so that is something that they have to wear to balance out the performance of the cars. There is Runks in P15 then. He is currently 5 seconds ahead of Phantom Sam, and we've got Mixer right there as well. They are fighting over 16th, Phantom Sam and Mixer. Behind them is GTX Dave, and he is he leading his field? Let's go check out what's happening with GTX Dave. He is still second to Alec, who apparently won the Prospect race just a little while ago, so he's putting in a hell of a drive today. 2 huge drives, frankly, and he's looking very, very good indeed. Alex for the Brittany Steers team, the number 187. I feel like I recognise that number, not just because it's close to Nate's number either, but anyway. Dave, GTX Dave, Hellgrind in the number 31. No grip, no glory. It's again working very, very hard up there in the Chevy. It's been a non-dominant performance, not quite so dominant performance today from our GT4 field. Was he? So Alec is currently 3rd in the field. Has he just dropped back very, very quickly, or am I missing the leader of the GT4s? I am missing the leader of GT4. It's Artie who's jumped forward. I guess Artie didn't take tyres. I think he's definitely hit something there. Am I sure Dave's the leader? No, exactly. I'm not sure. I've just discovered it's Artie. It's Beth Barron. So he has been able to skip by 2 drivers. I'm sure that's down to strategy, with 5 minutes 30 on the clock, and his gap down, I think, is 13 seconds out to Dave. So, wow, it looks like another strategic call then, and I think that's going to secure it. He wasn't really fighting very hard earlier on, and maybe that was why he was doing that. He was biding his time, just taking as little out of the tyres as he possibly could. So yeah, very, very interesting for the GT4 field. I told you pitting for Artie was a good call. Yeah, you did. You definitely did. There is C-Trucks then in 6th place overall. He's got a low heat, I think, within his sights, 4.2 seconds, but that will probably require a mistake for P5 to change today. We have Aries in 7th. He's been in the wars a little bit here and there. C-Truck's hell of a comeback weekend, says Gillard. And Nordic Dad now up a place from where we last saw him in 8th place. And I can almost hear the Henry family cheer as I say that. So on a good situation then for Nordic Dad right now. Nate is in 9th place in the 189. 2nd in Prospect, subs for Premier, and up in 6th. Nice, okay. So coming through the final quarter is Nate then on with just 4 minutes to go. C-Trucks was driver of the day on prospects. Yes, that makes a lot of sense then in that case. Excellent stuff. King in 10th, Sublime in 11th, and we're looking at a battle developing right now. Sublime, whoa, that was a move and a half down the inside there from King, defending hard. And I think these guys, well, the colours are quite similar, but I think it's Rare Metal versus Kingsman Motorsport here, as we've got King round the outside, just on the defensive permanently. Sublime trying to get hold of a top 10 finish, and on pace he was probably in the top 6 today without that spill. Just 1 or 2 wheels in the gravel for the tiniest moment turned the car around in the early part of the race. What a move round the outside. Can this possibly stick? As as King is slightly boxed in. Now it is the turn of Sublime to be boxed in, and we continue to run then down the outside. Will it become the inside line? It's not quite on for the 14, but he is very much trying. And I tell you what, King is putting in a huge defensive shift as well. Look at the Porsche sliding through our camera position there, as it so often does. And then in towards, heading into that left-hander. And is that a little touch between the two of them? Are we about to see drama? Well, there's a flash of lights. So King feeling like Sublime muscled his way by. Sublime was relatively patient. Yeah, look at King go with the light button. I don't think Sublime cares particularly right now. I think he's quite happy to be shot of him, and he'll try and get an instant report penalty distance away with these last 2 minutes, but that's a big ask. Into the final corner we go then. In P10 is Sublime, on the road at least. Let me know what you thought of that. I mean, we didn't quite see it thanks to the stunning camera work. And we'll try and change the camera. Well, we just get chase. It's horrible. Much better to go that way, I think. Anyway, I don't want to touch these keyboards anymore. It's so frustrating that they've failed, and then my miniature keyboard doesn't have the function buttons properly on it. Really annoying, unless there's any way that works. There is! Okay, wow, we've figured it out. Leader on the final lap. Let's go find our leader then. Where is he? As the clock is about to go dead. Let's go find Tin. Here he is. This is the hairpin at the start of the lap. C-Trucks to 5th, says Gillard. There he is on your leaderboard, the 242. What a redemption drive this weekend. What did he do so wrong? Last race, you have to fill me in. Why are we celebrating to quite this extent? What has he redeemed? So 30 seconds on the clock. Marnik currently in P2. Mojo right there as well. We have a battle on our hands for the final position, for the final positions on the podium. Bad luck, he says Kyle. Is the being caught up in incidents for 3 races in a row. Okay, yeah, well that makes a lot of sense. That's Mixer heading by one of the GT4 cars, but this is actually a battle then for P2 on the final lap of the race in the GT3 field. So fantastic to see this so close as they come through. Just several seconds up the road, about 10 seconds up the road is your leader, Tin. But Marnik will actually kill me if I miss him crossing the line as well today. They are closing in on Elite Rain, who is bottom right of your screen, so you can have a look in his mirror as they approach the next few corners. It is getting very tight. This is a horrible point for Marnik to catch Elite Rain as they run on. There's very little in the way of speed differential between these cars, of course. So that's Marnik to the inside in the Lexus. Looks like he's probably done enough. And winning the race then is Tin today in the Nurburgring race 6 of the championship. There he is, center of your screen. Tin wins once again. So a fabulous run from him as we drop back to see Marnik succeeding in the defense and coming home in P2 ahead of Mojo. Lucas in P3. Great run from these drivers. That's Max Trax and Hunter. There is Tin and my car. Let's just wait and see. We've got here Work Nickel crossing the line with North Sea. And Runks comes home in 15th place. Ruben in 4th. Good result for Ruben. And trying to get our drivers organised there. There's Zati coming through. Phantom Sam is the next one, I think, home in 17th. Yes, indeed. And here is Citrox, the 242, as he crosses the line in P5 today. Another really, really good shift from him and his team. There goes Artie winning the GT4 field as well. Artie wins with a no-stop, no-tyre strategy. I'm almost certain as we have a look, and that was a huge win for him when it comes down to it. That was Nordic Dad crossing the line in 7th place in the end. Nordic Dad's home in 7th. Alohi in 8th. Looks like Alohi had a problem at the end of his race. I wish drivers wouldn't do this at the end of our racing because it's hard to focus on something else. We've got Matrix home across the line in the blue smoke, left in the gap there. So we've got Artie home first with GTX Dave in 19th. And second in the field ahead of Alec and Howcat, Rice and Ghost Stroke. Hunter, Max Trax, North Sea at the bottom end of the field. Drivers just switching off their streams very quickly, or switching out of everything. So let's have a look at our main field, and let me get the leaderboard out of the way, and you can see the provisional results then. Tin, Marnik, Mojo at the top of the field. Artie, Dave, Alec are your podiums today. Ruben home in 4th. Citrox, Aries, Nordic Dad. There may even be a bit of a question mark over Aries finish there. So Nordic Dad could possibly hope for 6th. We've got Alohi in 8th, Nate in 9th, Sublime in 10th. Got King, Crit, Bert, Elite Rain, Runks, Mixer, Phantom Sam, all home pretty much on the lead lap. Artie, Dave and Alec finishing out your GT4 field. Behind them, if I can get this down, I think we've got... it's really hard to read. I apologise, guys. It's really difficult to read the GT4 field in amongst drivers who are out of sequence. I just want to make sure that I try and get the replay, because we can have a look at clips later on the channel if I manage to actually save the replay. Because if it doesn't save, then we can't make that happen. But great job, everybody. Great job to our podiums in particular, and let's hope that saves right now, and we can possibly view that at another later date. But a big thank you to everybody who supported us today. There is still time to put those to get those tips in, if you would be so kind. Yeah, we have 2 races to go then to the end of the championship. Fabulous race, another really thriller-minute one. I apologise for my keyboard-related issues. I will definitely put new batteries in and recharge. Now I've worked things out a little bit better as well, so I do have a little bit more of an idea about what my miniature keyboard can do. But yes, a really interesting, fantastic time here once again at Black Flag Racing. Don't forget, we've got the weekly race announcements coming up pretty much every day of the week. There's certainly more than 7 races a week anyway. We've got for Europeans, I host a race at it is 6 p.m. UK time on a Tuesday for the Tuesday sprints, which will be the following Saturday's track as well. So keep a lookout for that. Join us if you can, but make sure that you hit something positive under the video today, and catch us next week. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you on the next race day.